Hello friends, this is Tony Dizant, Space Rocker of the Planet Earth, back with another live video today. It's a Sunday. Some people call it a Sunday Fun Day. And this is a Sunday Fun Day. I'm going to go ahead and talk about something, but I'm going to try to stay away from the headline news and the politics of the day and all that rigmarole that is so ineffective. And what I want to talk to you about today is this. If you stick around long enough, you're going to learn something today. I'm going to call this video Unadaptable Rate of Change. Unadaptable Rate of Change. And basically, that is what we're facing today. Unfortunately, we are facing an unadaptable rate of change. What do I mean by that? Very simple. What happens is, every time you turn around, there's something new. Every time you turn around, there is something that does the same thing, but in a different form, but in a little better way of doing things, or a little more effective. And I'm talking about products right now, right? You go to the store, you see a product, you got 20 or 30 products that do the same thing. And the unfortunate truth about that is that they all sell. Unadaptable rate of change. I'm going to give you an example. And I know you can relate to this. Let's say your mobile phone, your cell phone. First of all, how old is your cell phone? Do you have an iPhone? Do you have a Galaxy phone? There's other phones right now too in between. There's even a flip phone that came back. I'm not sure if it's Galaxy or Apple, but I know there's a flip phone somewhere in the mix. Well, it just so happens that I'm getting used to this one right here that I have, that I'm using to record myself right now. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm not going to, promote the product. But let's say I had this phone for like maybe 2.5 years, something like that. Maybe 2 years. I'm just getting used to this phone right now. And of course, they're already trying to sell me the latest and the greatest. But if I don't even know all the things that this little phone has for me to operate it, because I'm still getting used to it, I'm still learning this phone, I'm still learning about all the features that the phone has and everything. I'm going through this phone. There's some things that I need, there's some things that I use, there's some things that I don't know uh, how to use, and of course, I would probably never learn this phone completely before I get another one, because if not, I'm a, I'm gonna be left behind. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be left behind because there's gonna be other phones that do better things than that. Now, in order for me to change from this phone to the next phone, I would probably have to get a similar phone, like a very, very similar phone that functions about the same way, so that I don't have struggle trying to figure out how to use the phone. But we're living in an unadaptable rate of change, because before, the changes weren't happening so fast. And because the changes weren't happening so fast, you could adapt. You didn't feel like you was being left behind, or you didn't feel like you needed the greatest and the latest and the greatest. And of course, the latest and the greatest is only for a few people too, because you have to be forking out the money. These days, I don't know, phones are maybe $1,500, $2,000, some even more than that, at least here in the United States. So you're not gonna be changing a phone, you know, if you're just a regular Joe, you're not gonna be changing a phone like every 6 months. Even though that's what they want you to do. They want you to for you to keep updating every time they come out with a new phone. And that's about every year now. It's gonna get even less in the coming years. But at the rate we're going, with this unadaptable rate of change, I'm not sure how long we will be able to sustain this madness. I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to survive this, really, because with technology comes a responsibility. And some people are being responsible with the technology, and some people are not. And of course, the few that are not can mess it up for all of us that try to do the right thing with technology. And what I'm talking about right now is the possibility of this chaos going south at any given moment. I remember a guy that used to be a great musician that once said, what did he say? We all have a gun. We can all we can all die any day. We can all have a gun. We can all die any day. Well, that's becoming a more of a reality every single day. And of course, the unobtainable rate of change, you can relate that to anything, any little thing that you see. Because what happens is the information is at your fingertips. You can have like a 10, a 12, a 14-year-old just in front of a computer trying to get into, you know, the electrical grid. Yeah. Because these guys, they weren't the 10-year-old that when I was a 10-year-old. These guys have been in front of a phone, a computer, uh, an electronic digital pad, or whatever you want to call it, since a very early age. And some of these kids are brilliant. And of course, these kids can do a whole lot of stuff that we couldn't even dream of doing at that age. Because the world is moving so fast that everything changes like on a minute to the second to the second to the millisecond. And of course, I've said it before and I said it again. It's just a matter of time since the world will be a completely different place. And we're either going to survive or we're going to perish. And most of us, unfortunately, will perish because is an unsustainable rate of change. And the more you stay behind, socially, economically, especially economically, the less possibility of life you will have. That's just the mere truth. Because what are we going to do with this unadaptable rate of change? And I tell you, I have some advice for my generation. Some of us saying that the coolest generation that ever lived, Gen X. This is what we can do. We can sit back and relax and watch the show. That's my advice right here. Okay? And not worry about all those changes and just forget about it. Right? But what is the merely 18-year-old getting out of high school right now? What are the possibilities of that person to keep up? That's why most of them are just giving up and just staring at their phone every day and see what they can do. And that's why you have all these influencers and you have all these people, content creators, and because they just fed up with the whole thing. They fed up because you know it's only feasible for a few. It's only feasible for a few. Like for example, I'm the space rocker of the planet Earth. I can make miracles with a synthesizer. I can chemically unbalance the sounds of the universe with my mind. Because I have a galaxy mind. But that doesn't mean anything if I don't have the equipment. If I don't have the economic means to get the equipment in front of me, or if I don't know anybody that has the equipment and can charge me an arm and a leg to use it. So how am I gonna make the greatest music in the world if I'm not economically feasible to have the equipment? Because everything moves so fast, because everything changed so fast that you don't even need a synthesizer these days. You can have sounds out of your phone maybe and make music. You see? That's an example right there. You can actually be a DJ with your cell phone. And you've seen them before. You've seen people just DJing a whole night, DJing a night with their cell phone. And they have the little programs in there and everything, that they have all the downloads they need and everything, and they have all the genres. You could ask them for any song. They might have thousands and thousands of songs in their library on their phone. So you don't need to be carrying all this stuff and everything. And all you have to do is just plug into some speakers in a big place where the speakers are already there. Just plug into them right there, or just actually not even that. Just do it wirelessly and still do, have fun doing your little thing with a cell phone or a pad. Because they adapted to the change. Now, there's some traditional guys that still have the turntables and and they want to show off and they want to scratch and they want to do this and they want to have the headphones and be all nice and and they think they all that, and they have all the girls around them and stuff like that. Just the usual thing. But then again, you might have just a guy that whatever, he's 80 years old with with his cell phone, just walking around the room and everything, and just having fun, putting some tunes on there, because he has a playlist, and he'll just go off this playlist and prefabricated playlist, just put it on for 5 hours. Oh, the DJ was awesome, right? But who's the DJ? Oh, it's my great grandpa. Yeah. Where's he at? Oh, he's like Oz. We don't know where he's at. All right. Well, whatever. But the unadaptable rate of change is a very dangerous thing right now. Very dangerous because they're fabricating all these weapons. They're fabricating all this technology. They having like 3 and 4 wars at the same time. Just the other day, they announced that Taiwan might be in danger. All they have to say is one time. That's it. Once the word gets put out there, they already positioning themselves. So be ready. But like I said, the unadaptable rate of change. That's why some people can talk about some things. Like, say, I'm going to tell you one thing: the circadian rhythm. What is the circadian rhythm? What are you talking about, Tony? The circadian rhythm. Okay, for those of you that don't know, and I know a lot of you know, because there's really nothing in this world that once you get to be like, once you know you exist, you can start learning. And a lot of kids know this. Circadian rhythm. Okay, that's the rhythm that you have with the rotation of the earth, and it has to do with your sleep. Okay, once you get in rhythm with the circadian rhythm, your body gets in rhythm with the circadian rhythm. That's when you have the best sleep all your life. That's when you go through all the cycles. There's like 5 cycles when you sleep, and usually most people don't even get to the 4th cycle because they don't sleep well enough. And but if you're sleeping normally without any chemicals or anything, and you're being natural, and you're sleeping with the circadian rhythm, that's you're sleeping with Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is going like 14,000 miles an hour around the sun or something, maybe more. And you're right there clicking with it. And then you're this little speck on the earth right there. You're just a little speck, but you locked in with this circadian rhythm, and that's making you sleep. Going through 1, 2, 3, 4 rapid eye movements. Have you ever had this sleep that you could sleep and you wake up and you know what you were dreaming about? Those are the best ones. That happens very seldomly, and it's because You're not locked in to the circadian rhythm. You're not locked in with the earth and the movements. And of course, if you had a good night's sleep, I believe that you would have like one, two, maybe almost three of these cycles every 3 hours and sleep like 9 hours. And once you go into that deep sleep, wow, that's a real restful place. But like I said, not everybody gets locked in with the circadian rhythm because we're all stressed out about what's going to happen in the next minute because of the unadaptable rate of change. We can't do nothing about it. Things are changing so fast, and the best thing to do is just do whatever you can. That's all I can say. But you're not going to be able to keep up, even if you try. And with this one, I want to say hi to everybody. I want to say hi to all the people around the world that follow my videos and follow my music. I know who you are, and I really appreciate it. There's over 82 million of you in my YouTube channel, over 120 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And of course, this is Tony Dizant, space rocker of the planet Earth, still living in this beautiful planet called Earth. Today with a message of the unobtainable rate of change. Don't try to change it.